Tax is the government's heroin, and they're addicted, right? They're so good with money, they're about to be $30 trillion in debt. 30 trillion. That's a 30 followed by 18 zeros. Do you know how long it takes to count to a trillion? 31,000 years. And that's if you could do one number per second, which is I try, 437 billion, 237 million, 111,000, 212. That takes longer than a second. And I have to remember the next number. You know what was going on 31,000 years ago? An ice age? Neanderthals? Joe Biden had just been born? Trump had a beautiful head of hair and was playing with the other orangutans.
Look, the way the government treats money is far too reckless. And the way people handle money, it's far too risky. That is a lethal combination. Money is really an extension of people's energy, their stored value, and it's being devalued in so many ways. With government spending skyrocketing over the last few decades, and look, I'm not looking at any political party, because whether it's George Bush and Donald Trump, they spend a lot. Or whether it's Obama and Biden, they spend a lot. No matter what the philosophy is, they're spending so much money that I believe it's going to be inevitable that there's a rise in taxes. So some of this government spending is essential, valuable, and it serves us. Other spending is more like cronyism, where it benefits the few wealthy people at the expense of its citizens. You know, cronyism, where the government acts like a subsidiary or a bitch for the company, and they just do whatever they want. Why? Because that company funds campaigns and gets favors. It's what we dislike, no matter what your political affiliation is. See, the government can go into debt, or they can tax us to generate revenue. Well, guess what? They do both. Tax is the fuel for government spending, and I suppose for paying off the debt. I mean, I don't know if they're ever going to pay off something that's over $30 trillion now. See, I feel like saving tax used to just be something smart to do, like a good strategy. But in the current political climate, with both sides addicted to spending, and the economic climate, markets down, inflation up, it has become critical, even essential, to tackle your finances and especially your taxes. I'm sure you've heard that there's more agents being hired by the IRS, tens of thousands, by the way, and recently the IRS employment contract asked if they're willing to use force or train with weapons. Are you effing kidding me? Well, they did kind of remove that because people were like, seriously? And what frustrates and motivates me while I'm doing this video is because most people can legally and ethically save money on tax, which can help battle inflation, give needed funds for hiring and building processes and infrastructure. It can provide for their families and reduce money stress, the number one reason listed for divorce, by the way. Well, next to marriage, I think that's the number one reason people get divorced, and focus on solutions. But due to misinformation, complication, and feeling just too busy, people are stuck in a place they don't know what to do or where to start, and so what do? They tip the government. So you can see why I'm so passionate, why I'm motivated, and why I have a desire to help, why I have this channel. I figured it makes sense to take a break right now and just point out where this passion resides, because I'm not yelling at you. I am kind of yelling, but it's out of passion. I'm going to get to what I'm going to do about this and some of the solutions that aren't going to require you to pay a penny out of your pocket, because we've got a series of tax videos, and you can continue to click through and watch more and more so you can understand the tax framework, and you can understand where to maximize deductions or how to classify your income, or learn about things that sound really complicated like tax arbitrage, but I'm here to make it accessible and even funny at sometimes, right? Inflation. Look, this is my other concern, because it's not just the income tax and government spending that has me so fired up. It's also the printing of money or the adding of it to computer screens. This is like a double stealth tax. That's what inflation is. See, inflation, everybody's felt and witnessed it, especially of late. Inflation is stealthy in that it's not collected like tax, but instead it's felt through purchases and a loss of our purchasing power. They're watering down the soup. Your same dollars doing less, being worth less, and due to inflation, you're having to earn more to maintain your lifestyle, which, and here's the double stealth tax part, in turn is going to increase your tax rate. That's a bitch, right? That's sneaky. Less purchasing power and more tax, the double stealth tax. You have to earn more money to buy the same things, but earning more means paying more in tax, unless, of course, you get very clear on your finances, especially your tax strategy. Look, for those in America, a CPA alone can't solve this. They aren't trained for all the strategy and possibility that's out there. They're part of the solution for sure. That is, unless they're merely a historian telling you what you owe. The full solution really requires collaboration. Hey, pardon the interruption, but I've got a gift for you. Actually, two. Killing Sacred Cows, my New York Times bestseller, hit #1 on Wall Street Journal, and my most popular book of all time, What Would the Rockefellers Do? Killing Sacred Cows is like a permission slip to have more success and avoid the missteps and myths around finance. And What Would the Rockefellers Do is taking these kind of big billionaire technology and ideas and bringing them to the masses. So it's a step-by-step financial system where you can start with as little as I did when I was 19 at $50 a month. So if you go to garrettgunderson.com/offer, give me your email address, and I'll just shoot those books right over to you so you can enjoy and learn at your own pace. Retirement planners default to delaying tax, which is not quite the same thing as saving tax, and I think is kind of a bit dangerous. Without the right information, strategy, team, or collaboration, most people make the mistake of letting the tax tail wag the dog, meaning they do things for tax deductions they wouldn't otherwise do, and it confiscates and destroys wealth, like buying a depreciating asset or spending money to get a deduction. That means you spent $1, but you only saved 35 cents, effectively losing 65 cents in the process if it wasn't a purchase you were going to have otherwise. Again, you have to learn about tax arbitrage, focus on tax credits instead of tax deductions, and learn how to classify your income in one of these 4 ways. Active to passive, which could save you up to 15.3%. Ordinary income to capital gains, potentially cutting your tax bill in half. Tax-free, especially if you're charitably inclined or selling a business. And tax arbitrage, you spend $1, you get more than $1 back in tax credit. And look, there might be naysayers out there. People right now ready to make a comment. They're going, you know what, this is bullshit because the rich don't pay any tax. Realize, in my surveys in 25 years in finance, 9 out of 10, especially small business owners, pay too much in tax because they don't have the right knowledge. The tax code is awfully complicated. And most business owners are overwhelmed just trying to make ends meet and run that business. And even though small businesses employ far more people than big businesses, because there's just so many more of them out there, small businesses don't have lobbyists in D.C. They aren't contributing millions or more to a campaign in return for these favors. They're simply working, hiring, and trying to make it all work while paying more than their fair share. And when we help these businesses reduce the overpayment of income tax, they actually can hire employees, provide services to the public, and add more value to the economy. It actually helps everyone because of something called the velocity of money. More on that later. I get it, there's going to be some greedy SOBs out there that they'll just keep more. We've seen this happen when quantitative easing gave a bunch of big businesses money and they just bought back stock for cheaper. I mean, it's not that this is a fail-proof plan that if people pay less in tax, they do good with it. But the reality is, it's so inefficient with where tax dollars are going right now, and when we see that's happening, it gets a little frustrating. So for those that are the naysayers and go, you know what, that's messed up, people aren't paying more tax, there's a lot of other taxes to pay. Let's do a quick rundown. Income tax is only one of the many taxes. There are property taxes, excise taxes like gas tax, and including the tax on alcohol, tobacco, and marijuana, often referred to as the sin tax. So yeah, sure, you can forget about your troubles, you just have to pay more to do so. There's sales taxes, there's FICA and payroll taxes, stuff like Medicare, Social Security, insurance tax. There's a state tax, state income tax, capital gains tax, travel tax, a VAT tax. Yeah, I once came home from Europe and had to pay this VAT tax, right? And you know what? There's only one state in the United States I know of that makes you do that. Michigan. Thanks, Michigan. You also brought us Detroit. That's messed up. See, a part of the solution to your money problems is the velocity of money, also known as V2. This comes with efficiency, keeping more of what you make without cutting back, and ultimately adding more value through serving others and solving problems, therefore creating profit and production. Less tax, more production. More money to improve businesses, products, and services. Not the giant asshole businesses that use the government to change laws that favor the business or fund a congressman or campaign, but the people that are the backbone of our economy and value creation. The real essential businesses and the people working in those businesses, right? This is not the time to do nothing or watch the news and become afraid. In fear, we lose our freedom and our ability to provide. It's time to look for solutions to help those that are consistently providing and creating. I've been working for the past few years, have a plan, and it's time to tell you about it. Here's part of my plan to help. I'm posting a video on YouTube every day. This will be to support those that have more time than money or simply like getting content through video. And they'll want regular reminders and insights to navigate the economy, personal finance, and business. So ask more questions in here. Let me know your concerns. Where is it that you're seeking answers? I have a great network of people I could tap into if I don't have the answer. And this is a weird photographic brain when it comes to finance, so I can help out in so many ways. Let me know what you're facing so that I can add the most value and that we can connect. Look, there are going to be a series of videos coming out in regards to inflation and tax to help you navigate that. Number 2, if you want to know what drives your financial decisions due to your money persona, you want to profit from your ideas up front, you want to keep more of what you make without cutting back, you want to tap into your hidden capital and create a life you don't want to retire from, well, I took this, my entire life's library, and simplified it and put it step by step in something called the Win Then Play digital course. How to win before you begin, how you create that life you don't want to retire from is in this course, and how to plug those leaks. So you can go to garrettgunderson.gg to learn more or grab it. Now, also, every now and again, I do these one-on-one immersions. We spend an entire day together. But in order to figure out whether that's the right thing or whether it's just referring out, if you want to invest in yourself and you want to get to know me and have me help you, well, you can start with a 3-session discovery process and sign up at freetheflow.gg. Free the flow. Free that cash flow. Free your flow in life. Freetheflow.gg. This uncovery process will aid you in gaining clarity of your current finances, help you get an assessment on your quality of life and your biggest opportunities and obstacles. If doing an immersion makes sense after, you can credit the $1,000 discovery session towards that immersion investment. So, tax, inflation, personal finance, that's what we're here to help you with. This is Garrett Gunderson. Don't get caught up in the American dream. It's time to create a real and wonderful dream where money is a byproduct of value creation and a life well lived. Hey, hopefully that was the most enjoyable video you've ever watched around the topic of tax. Now, if it was, and you want to learn even more around tax, I've got more videos that are similar, but will give you more details or different concepts and ideas so you can put that money back in your pocket.